So welcome back to the first impression of a hunter genre game new to the PlayStation Vita, came out last week. Of course, freaking Freedom Wars, one of the highest anticipated games exclusively for the PlayStation Vita this year. And right off the bat, is it good or is it not good? It is definitely a good game. I like it more than Soul Sacrifice. I am at the moment liking it more than God Eater, but I still like Monster Hunter better, and Ragnarok Odyssey in my view is still a better game. Now, Freedom Wars is actually really weird, and I applaud them to having such a high imagination of the storyline. You are sentenced to 1,000,000 years of imprisonment because you lost your memory. Yeah, I mean seriously, 1,000,000, and you have to work to, reduce your punishment to 0 and finally be free. And the funny thing, and one of the most awesome aspects of the game, is you actually have to buy permission to do the most basic stuff. And I mean walking, sleeping, talking to people. It's kind of funny because in the beginning of the game I just walked in my cell and I got 10 years of extra sentence because I walked and I didn't have the permit to actually walk in your freaking cell. And then you have a permit to talk to the townspeople. You have a permit you have to buy to take 5 steps running. And when you actually buy it, you feel like you are buying your freedom back, and that is really cool, and it's an aspect I've never seen ever in a video game. That's absolutely I think it's really fantastic. Graphically, the game actually kind of surprised me. The art design and the enemies look absolutely outstanding. They look amazing. Seriously, they look amazing. You have a lot of customization. I love the art design. Everything else, like the environment though, is a little bit bland, but it's still okay. It's not ugly, it's okay. It is interesting to look at, and that's pretty much it. I do have to say though, is that this is, I think, the first Hunter game that actually has a decent storyline, and there's quite a lot of talking between the single player missions. Where in Monster Hunter you have ranks, in Freedom Wars you have cells. You begin at the lowest of cells, the most ugly, dirty cell you've ever seen. And when you move up cells/rank, you get a prettier cell, a bigger cell, you can do more things. And you have to go up to the top and be on top and be free finally again. The combat system is really fluid, it's fast-paced, and the frame rate is always stable, what I have seen. You can have an NPC party with up to 8 other NPCs. When you go online, you have up to 3 other players that can help you out, and I played actually co-op with my friend, and it's absolutely a blast. You are not actually playing with 8 NPCs or 3 other players. You always have an NPC with you called an accessoire, something like that, accessoire, whatever. And he is actually, how can you say it, like he's the person that looks at you like, are you doing everything right? He's your guard, he's your prison guard actually. That's how you say it, a prison guard. So, and he can also fight with you and will fight with you in the missions. Not all of them, but most of them. One of the coolest aspects of the game is you actually have a sort of a grappling hook where you can grapple on buildings and on the giant enemies itself. And that makes up the combat a little bit different than like Monster Hunter, Soul Sacrifice or any other Hunter game. I think there's actually an anime that also has this Hunter, so this grapple thing. And Titan Attack, or Titans Attack, or Titans are attacking, whatever, you know what I mean. If you watch anime, you know it's something called Titan Attack, and they kind of stole the whole feature off those grappling hooks, but it definitely makes the battles a lot faster and a lot more fluid. Where Monster Hunter is really slow and bulky, Freedom Wars is really fast paced. What I also like is, just like all the other Hunter games, you have your melee weapons, but you also have your ranged weapons like machine guns, rocket launchers, homing missiles and whatnot. The coolest thing actually is that in the control settings you can make it feel like it's a third-person shooter instead of a Hunter game if you really prefer to fight at a range. I do have to mention though that I've been hearing that after rank 4 or cell block 4 the game gets unbearable hard. And I'm not sure if the patch that came out in Japan is also in this edition, but I've been hearing some stuff that's freakingly hard. To be honest though, right off the bat you can die pretty freaking easily. With a couple of blows you are dead. Seriously, you are dead. Like any Hunter game, you do missions to gain materials. You can also donate materials to reduce your sentence and, you know, be free much faster. Of course, you can also just take the materials and upgrade your weapons, build new weapons and modify your weapons. You can actually also make your own items and produce your own ammunition. Overall, I freakingly like Freedom Wars as of now. Since I'm only at cell 3, I haven't seen the unbearable difficulty of the game. Hopefully though, if it is actually that hard, they are at the moment working hopefully on a patch to resolve that. Because a Hunter game that's unplayable is not fun to play. I have not played the game online, but I have, like I said, played with a friend via ad hoc and there is no lag whatsoever. Freedom Wars is at the moment one of the best exclusive games I've played on the PlayStation Vita. And if Sony is smart, they are gonna or port it or make a whole totally new Freedom Wars for the PlayStation 4. I think it will sell a ton load in Japan, and yeah, I mean the Vita is still not really like selling well here in Europe and in the United States, and in Japan it's doing quite okay. Freedom Wars is a game you actually have to play if you love all the other Hunter games. It's one of the best I've ever played and it's a blast to play. I hope you enjoyed this little first impression. Leave in the comments below, do you have Freedom Wars and are you actually liking Freedom Wars? And like always, you will see me next time.